was at the hotel, like, the next day, I'm getting ready to leave, phone rang, I missed the call. Call right back, the head coach. He said, oh, you talked to the owner, blah, 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 blah. Yes, I talked to him, like, what you got going on? I said, yo, he said, you know, I look like I can play, and I said, coach, he knows who I am. He knows what I'm made of.
Here we go.
Google Pixel Fold, the only foldable phone engineered by Google. Pre-order Google Pixel Fold and get Pixel Watch.
Third down, red zone. As the season goes, obviously, using it however. So, all right, cool. I'm gonna talk to the general manager to blah blah. So they didn't talk to the general manager. And at some point, the general manager text my old phone, which I hadn't used in I don't know how long. And I just so happened I'm back in Florida. I plugged the phone up. I see a message from the general manager like 3 weeks ago. They had asked me to come in to speak to the young receivers. So I kind of got nervous when I ended. I missed my opportunity. So I reached back out to him. I dropped it, yo, this is Terrell. You reached out to an old phone. And then I said, I saw you ask me about coming and talking. I said, yeah, I would have loved it. So I didn't know if that was a way of them bringing me in to work me out, as well as talk to receivers. And so, long story short, Shannon, talking to the general manager maybe a couple of weeks after that. Actually, on my way back from Jackson State, I had gone to Dion drive camp. I had ran route and that. And so I talked to him, and so he was like, yo, so it was mixed signals, mixed messages. So the owner telling me one thing, basically the head coach, they kind of stepped back. He was like, okay, now it's general manager and owner. So it was little kind of the wind taken out of my sail because the information I got from the general manager wasn't the owner's thing. So I got kind of discouraged. So at this point, I've been working out for 3-4 weeks. I'm grinding. Doing my PT, I'm doing everything. And so I talked. So then I'm kind of frustrated. I called my receiver coach, who's now head coach, and I tell him about it. And he's like, he's like, I can tell in your voice. He said, you ready? He said, I know you're serious about it. And I said, yeah. I said, they approached me. He approached me about it. So he said, this is what I do. This is what I advise you to do. Reach out back to him and see what he said. So I called, text the owner, and I said, look. I said, text him. I said, look, I just want to know. I said, just give me a call. I said, let's talk about this man-to-man. I said, because I've been working out, training, blah, blah, blah. I don't want this to be nothing. Talked to him. He said, look. And I said, I know you're the owner. I said, well, you got people, in place to do their job. And I said, at the end of the day, I know they don't want to overstep. You don't want to overstep your boundaries. I said, but you're the owner of the team. I said, at the end of the day, you're the owner. Right. So he said, look, Terrell, I'm gonna talk to you. Coach, this ain't nothing. He said, just keep doing what you're doing.
Oh.
So at the end of the day, like I said, I get discouraged.
Got his ass, boy.
Like yourself said, what he can't do it. Back when we was talking earlier, you can't say I can't do it because you haven't seen me do it. You haven't seen me do it. You can't counsel me and say I can't do it. At the end of the day, nobody plays the game to get hit. No.
Come on, little boy.
I get it.
What's wrong with him, man?
Your fighting senses went away. Because
but you can get those things back in tune. Like I said, it's not overnight. I've been training. Right. It ain't like I just been sitting on the couch now just jumping back in.
No. That ain't been your make.
Right.
Come
on,
man. For me, it's not about shape. Because I know you've been trained. I know you've been running. For me, it's about being away from the game.
Let's get him out of here,
I
man.
mean, Tim Tebow got an opportunity. He's been away. Granted,
Go help your boy, man. Go help your boy.
You better not go out there and do that.
Come on, you already know better than that. Come on, Tim. I could have played tight end and gave a little bit better effort than what that was. Come on now. I'm not.
Wow.
You're gonna come back and play
a position that
exactly.
That's where I feel like he was at a disadvantage. And I think that's where
He blew it.
the hoopla was that he's been given preferential treatment because it's privilege. That's where that conversation was at. But for me, trust me.
You in here, boy. What's up?
But that's where people in your position,
I want to see it now. You got me convinced that you can do it, so I want to see it.
hey,
I want to see it now.
At the end of the day, man, like I said, and that's why I said I put in the video. I mean, the guys that have been helping me. Like I said, I haven't told anybody. Everybody just been wondering, okay, why are these videos
Why you working like this?
Right, yeah, exactly. They, like I said, the owner approached me.
You want 15, 20 plays a game. That's it. First down,
Right.
red zone,
Trust me,
snap.
wherever I can help a team. Trust me, my knowledge of the game is what's going to separate me from the others or anybody else.
Right.
And I want to be able to help groom some of those guys that, people say that, resemble my play, my build, whatever, or just, expand their
But you want to go
knowledge.
to a situation where you can possibly win. And you don't even want to go to some team.
Right, exactly. But I mean, like I said, there are some teams I'm sure that on the cusp, they may like that. I still feel like I could be an X factor.
You believe you help put a team over the top?
I do feel like yeah. What did really AB do this year? Last year with the Buccaneers. What really? Not the
You can do that.
What did he really do?
I mean, AB
Look at his stat. Look what is his stat? Somebody give me his stat.
I think AB
And I'm not
had
taking
43 catches.
about like 500 yards. I think 400 or 500 yards. So you trying to say that I can't do that?
AB is 33, 34.
When I was 37, they had guys 2 years younger than me. They said I was over the hill. It doesn't matter. What you know the definition of faith. Come on now. You just told me a while ago. And this is why I get discouraged, because you have a platform. Because people hear what you have to say. They listen to your voice.
My bad.
Man, you want to go out there, man. Tio, you've accomplished everything.
But if I can see it this, and I can get trust me. Man, this is like me. Now I might be one of the best athletes the world probably has ever seen.
Come on,
I'm
man.
not going to die that. I've seen you. I know you can play. You can. I mean, anything you set your mind to, you can do. That's why you became who you became.
Right.
Because you set your mind and says, okay, oh, I can do better. Oh, Jared, I can do that. I can do better than that.
Man, you just need to. The guys that work me out, they trip out at the things that I've done, and they know who I am, and they've seen my highlights. Do just with my work ethic, dude. Trust me.
I want to see it now. I hope they call you. I hope they call you. I hope they call you. That's gonna be the first topic. When you go there, that's gonna be our first topic.
I like the way you said it. Win. I like it. Now you start to speak things into existence. I like it.
When you go there, it's gonna be our first
I
topic.
like that, Shannon. I like that, Shannon.
You my dog. You always have been, always will be, bro. You know I got you. Let's get the current. Who reminds
Julio.
I was gonna say, what receiver reminds me of T.O.?
Julio. I mean, obviously, you got DK Metcalf.
DK.
He's young. He's evolving.
Yeah.
He's still young.
Right.
You see the potential there.
What about A.J. Brown? I don't think he's fast as you know.
He's coming on too.
Yeah.
He's definitely making some noise. Like I said, these are guys like that.
He about to take that next step with
Right,
Julio.
exactly. So it's going to be consistency with these young guys. When you
Right.
start, we get in the discussion about these guys. They're not even in, played 5 years yet.
Right.
And they start talking about Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
It's consistency. That's how you get into the Hall of Fame. It's,
Right.
it's your body of work.
Right.
Everybody always bring up Odell Beckham Jr. tremendous talent. He made that one catch. We're in the age of social media. Why? Everybody knows.
Right.
People in China probably know who Odell is.
Right.
Because, but in order for him to make those leaps and bounds, it's going to be consistent.
Right.
And as you've seen, like, injuries are a part of the game. We've had one injury, now to rebound from that. Now let's pick up from where he left off, where he was playing on with the Giants. So for all these guys that, you know, that have the A.J. Brown, the B.J. Kerry Metcalf, Devontae Adams, these guys, they are on their way. They are paving their way to champion.
Who's the best receiver in the game right now? Get one. The best receiver right now.
Boy,
General manager come to you and say, T.O.
I gotta go with Julio. It's either him or Antonio Brown. I can't. No matter what, I'm taking the trouble stuff. I'm leaving out. It's just like the Hall of Fame.
Right.
I have to leave that off before all of this stuff happens.
Yeah.
Who was Antonio Brown with the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Yeah. Oh, he's special.
Okay.
No question.
So now you see.
Oh my God! What the fuck?
The outside stuff, I separated. Antonio Brown, before all this, he was one of the top receivers before all this stuff started going on. Would you agree?
I absolutely agree.
Okay.
You guys that, bro?
I mean, dude was averaging probably 130 catches, probably 1,500 yards,
And
12, 13 touchdowns.
That's how I see it.
But sometimes he didn't realize how good he had to
Yeah. I talked to Antonio Brown when all that stuff was going on, and I got where he came. I got where he was coming from with our conversation. Being 6th round pick, comes from a small college, establishing and building really the statue of a person and player and the caliber of person that he was becoming. He saw for so many years the star treatment that the quarterback was getting.
Yeah.
And he wasn't getting it. But he was doing equal, and he was just as important. He felt as important.
Why didn't you tell him, say, you're never going to get the treatment the quarterback
But
gets?
trust me. I said, so we had conversations, and I said, whatever your issues are, I said, bro, he's like, what should I do? You know being better than I do.
Right.
You've been there for 9 years or whatever. You should have some type of rapport with him to pull him to the side. You know, y'all kids, y'all have dinners, wives going. I can't tell you. You've been there. You should know how to approach him to have that conversation, because if there was something said slight in an interview that you felt was wrong, whatever, you should have.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that was my advice to him.
Because, I mean, Ron throwing you 130 passes a year. I mean, he's throwing you 180, 190 targets a year. You get 1,500, 1,700 yards.
Yeah, but he felt like he was.
Good job, baby.
That start shooting.
Gio, you know you don't get that with the quarterback there.
I get it, dude. I mean, we all go through it. I mean, I went through it to an extent.
Man, I used to see John not practicing. I'm like, man, I can't wait to get to a certain age and I won't have to practice.
Right.
Oh well, I mean, sometimes it happens, sometimes it didn't.
Right.
TD was the same way. TD it didn't have to practice. I'm like, okay, it is
With the
what it is.
migraines and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
but see, that's what Sam getting caught. You start judging off of what somebody else is getting or what somebody else is doing.
Yeah.
And that's what gets you in trouble.
For me, I didn't have the problem. I like to work. It didn't matter to me.
Yeah.
My coach had to tell me not to practice.
Right. Because I need to work on my craft. Like these guys not playing in preseason. I needed preseason.
Right. But outside of that, this is the problem that I had was how I was being treated by my coach in certain
Right.
situations.
You weren't worried about what Steve got treated like this.
Man,
Or just got treated like that. No, just treat me like I'm a human being.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like, sometimes treat me like the star that I am. And I know that there's going to be some tears of treatment as, you know, as guys, get better and as they establish their career. But I didn't, they treat this man, trust me, bro.
They treat you like he was a rookie.
Trust me, man. My coaches even told me stuff, man. So, yeah.
Prime T.O. racing a prime DK Metcalf. Who wins?
I saw DK run.
Like, he was like, hey, that's a big thing. He running.
Hey, I saw DK
I didn't
run.
want to think that, but he was running.
Yeah, but if you look at some of my highlights, bro, I'm telling you, I would have known for my speed, but there's some highlights where I've come from the backside all the way just to spring.
Oh, we're playing threes, baby. Come on now.
Hey,
We playing threes?
Hey, I got some jets, Chan.
That's what we like. That's
I
what we
just
like.
look like this. I thought I tell you, I just look like this. I can cover some ground. I can, ask Julio, I can slide. I can slide, Shannon. Right now, I can slide.
They've been talking, going back and forth on social media. Usain Bolt and Tyreek Hill.
Man, he needs to stop. Man, they need to drug test Tyreek Hill.
Oh, he what about playing? 40 yards. 40 yards. Gold medal versus Super Bowl. Who you money on, Hill?
After that statement, I'm surprised he hasn't gotten drug tested about 3 or 4 times.
Oh yeah, that's about to be fun, boy.
That's
about to be fun. Oh, you have an 85.
Wow. He ain't right.
You don't think that record in a 40? Not a 70.
I'll play big. I'll play big.
You say it's suggesting they run 70 meters.
Oh, yeah.
Tyreek says
It don't really matter.
a 40-yard dash.
Yeah, I'll play big. We could guard ball
I
whoever.
said it'd be close.
In the 40. Not no 70. He can't take
I start out big. Nah, just guard your man. We big enough.
I don't care.
However, we
You
switch
see
to
that 70-yard line, that 70 meter on that line. He can put 80 million. He ain't finna get that before Usain Bolt get there. No sir. No sir, Bobby Jimmy.
You raised Tyreek a couple years ago.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is Reek the fastest
He's
player?
quick. He's quick and fast.
Yeah.
He's quick and fast.
I've never seen anybody accelerate.
Absolutely.
And I've seen some guys. I was in the league with Sam Grady. Sam Grady won the silver medal in the '84 Olympics. I was in the league with him. Mervin Fernandez, James Jett was on the relay team that won the gold medal in '92. So I've seen some guys run.
Dion.
Oh yeah, that.
Dion.
People don't realize how bad.
Man, I'm telling you, he don't look, man.
If you play this, DG Darrell Green. Darrell Green can run too.
Yeah, I heard, yeah.
Darrell Green can run.
Yeah.
Ron Brown was also was in the Olympics in I think '84. I think he won the bronze. He might have won the bronze medal. I think he might have swept the medal that year. Or it might have been '88 that he won the bronze. So I've seen some guys, but I don't know if I've ever seen anybody accelerate like Reed.
You can see it.
Yes.
When you're watching the game, you can see the acceleration.
Yes.
And there's such a distinctive difference in the speed in which he runs that it's obvious.
Right. Because those guys are track guys that happen to play football. Tyreek is a football player that has legit track speed.
And I know there's been some back and forth with Marquise Goodwin and all these guys are supposed to be this fast. Hey, all of them, the guys quick. He's cat quick and
people don't realize he put together. He ain't got no friend. The track guys are friend. They was one.
You talk about a pound for pound.
Yeah, there ain't nobody supposed to that.
That's what I'm saying. A pound for pound like Steve. That team. You talk about a pound for pound boxers. Hey.
In your year, did y'all have a scrimmages when you were in training camp? Did y'all play scrimmage against other teams?
Yep.
I don't know if you saw AB get to a fight the other day.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah.
Did you see the Cleveland situation today?
No.
Cleveland and the Giants.
No, I didn't. I don't really watch football like that. I don't.
T.O., check this out. The practice is over. Field cleared. They come back out there. Sterling Shepard on the DB and try to full blow. After the practice.
So they organized
Hey, don't worry about this. After practice, because the coach told me he wanted to have no more fighting during practice. They said, hold that. After practice.
So they found a loophole.
After practice, they still see me. Yeah, they take look.
They took matters into their own hands. I ain't never heard of that. I mean, you hear guys like basketball, like, they go to the showers and they catch them going to the bus and they'll,
see what's up.
Yeah. But
Did you ever get into it, tussle in a practice?
No. No, I was probably too tired to do all of that.
See, that's what I said. Hold on. If you got all the energy to practice, all the energy to fight, you ain't practicing hard enough.
Man, man, I was trying to perfect my craft.
Right.
Man. I was just trying to be the best, number one receiver wherever I was. I tried to be the best, and I practice happy that I've always been a work type of guy.
Right.
Work ethic was always there.
Right.
And then that's why when I got to the Niners, everybody saw the similarities in Jerry. But Jerry always wanted to be a receiver.
Right.
That was his passion.
Right.
For me, I just kind of adopted, you know, and tried to enhance upon what my potential was. And I became better. And like I said, in order to be good at something, you gotta work
Work
at
at it, absolutely.
And so that's what it was doing. I was molding myself to become so like the best receiver that I could be.
Right.
You know, taking everything that I could around me, even from other receivers that came free agents. I watched slot guys. I watched how they got open.
Right.
You know, even the slow white guys that would get open. I'm like, how are these guys getting open?
Right.
There was something about it,
Right.
about their ability that would make them get open.
Right.
So I would watch them. I would watch all different types of guys. If you were drafted in first, second, third, fourth round, it don't matter. I watched how you ran routes and how you got open.
Do you wish they had social media?
Oh
When
my
you-
God, boy, I would be a star, boy. People already know me, but I would be a megastar. Like, I would have millions of followers, no doubt. Myself and Chad, the way that we entertain
Yeah.
and how we engage with the fans, and I'm not saying that as to be arrogant, but just how we entertain and how we are very charismatic, and I understand the business of the game. So how we intertwine, how we engage with the fans, and now with social media, it would be crazy.
Would you be going back and forth? Because a lot of times we see guys on offense and defense, and we see guys. Would you be going back and forth?
Man, I would probably have one captain for them all year. Get your top 10 good. That's all I would probably have to say.
Right.
And I said that when I said on the sideline, like, I never people think that I talk crap.
Right.
When I tell you, like, hey, what you always, yes you did. If you think about the highlights that you see, you've never seen me on the field going back and forth.
Right.
Tough. It's always been on the sideline when I'm talking to, because I know the cameras on me.
Right.
Even when we were warming up. I mean, with the Cowboys. My mama said, Mama, they got these cameras on me. I knew what I was doing.
Right.
And I wanted to engage. I wanted to have fun with the game. And that's what I miss really now. Like, I wish I would have had more fun.
Oh, how God is that? Damn, I thought I was gonna sweat. Damn.
And really just becoming, just honing on, just like, I had that relentless pursuit of just trying to be good as I was.
Alright, let's get the ball moving, baby.
Nah.
Let's get this ball moving.
You gotta back it up.
Oh shoot. Go, get down.
You gotta
Yeah.
back it up.
Man.
Oh yeah.
See, they not-
I got him. Got him.
Juju.
We going line. Go. Don't miss gotta go. Yeah. Got him. Where we at with it, baby? That's, okay, whatever.
It does.
Where we at with
I
it?
mean, like I said, everybody, I mean, they think they want it. They think they want that line.
Everybody think they're number one. Number one getting all the coverage.
Oh, he helping.
Number one DB.
Yeah.
Defensive coordinator
Oh.
late at night trying to come up with
We go. I'm down.
Roll coverage your way and take you away.
Oh,
You
my
get-
God.
You get the third DB. You get the fourth DB. And you put the number on. Yeah, man, I'm that dog.
Right, because
Alright, let's run that offense, baby.
your numbers are skewed.
Yes.
They're legit, but it's skewed because you have to look at how you got those numbers.
And then as soon as you get Pat P, and you get Jair Alexander, you get Marshawn Lattimore, you get those top dogs, you get Jalen Ramsey,
Oh,
you
man.
get Stephon Gilmore, all of a sudden,
Sign of a good receiver. Like,
Come on,
you gotta
man.
do it with
Go ahead.
and without.
yeah.
You gotta create, make plays, double team, make plays.
Come on.
make plays.
Come on.
I remember talking
Throw it.
to AB, he was frustrated.
A little late.
Don't
Damn.
be so concerned about what he's not doing or if the balls are not coming your way. I said, bro, make the most of the balls that come.
That's it.
And that's what he started doing because he was struggling because he felt like they were going away from him. They were intentionally going away from him, feeding Juju, and he was open, rightfully so sometimes. But I said, dude, that's something you can't, you gonna lose that battle.
That's it.
I said, dude, just make the most.
Yeah, you had me on that bit. Good shit.
He started taking looks.
Good takedown.
Going to that.
That's what you gotta do. I got the name Big Play Shay.
I gotta go,
I got to Baltimore, I wouldn't get the features like I was in Denver. I'd get one play a game to the highest I go.
And then over time, the offensive coordinator, we got to hit this ball, this guy more ball.
Oh, no, you go up on that one, man. You go up on that, you go up on that. I'll stay down. Just stay on your side, yeah.
No, I ain't gonna do that. I ain't gonna do it really like that. No, but I had fun that week. I had fun that week. But the best.
Oh, you had him.
I think the most creative probably was like me signing Sharpie with the and then impromptu was like the popcorn at the back of the. I catch the ball at the back of the.
I got big.
And the fans were right there. And
Don't switch, don't know, you good.
You know, you see the picture with me. And then obviously the most probably talked about is me going to the store.
Yeah.
There you go.
Man,
can you imagine?
Oh man, I'm telling you.
Imagine if you put that up and you had Instagram and you had Twitter back.
I'm telling you.
That lady got 10 million likes.
So you think Kim Kardashian breaking the internet? Man, it would be.
Oh man.
It was something awful.
A few months back, one of your best friends did celebrity boxing. You see Nate Robinson do it.
You sure he did?
Well, no, okay. Yeah, you attempted. Nate Robinson, Chad Ochocinco, you and Ochocinco, very good friends. Have you thought about doing a celebrity boxing match?
Well, let's just talk about his performance.
Okay, let's talk about his performance.
I commended him on what he did.
Right.
And honestly, like I wasn't too nervous. I just didn't want him to go in there and not take it serious.
Right. Oh yeah, so you get hurt.
Because I know how he is, and I know he's a showman.
Right.
You know what I mean? And he was going against a bare knuckle fighter.
But he's going to get somebody that actually fight. Right. This ain't no celebrity.
Right. Yeah. So when I went to the arena, I saw him, and as soon as I saw him, I was like, okay, this is for real. Right. So I went in there. I went in the arena. And I was like, man, I'm going. Yeah. So I went to the dressing room and I saw him in the back. This is real. No, I'm talking about, it got me kind of like, ooh. So I'm like, man, this is real. So when I saw him, I said, hey, first thing I said, that's the school.
Oh, you out, obvious.
That was flowing. Because I went, when I was driving down there, I'm like, well, what can I say that he hadn't heard from somebody? That was the thing that came to my mind. Respect the sport. I'm like, man.
Alright, stay in your feet and pump faking too much.
We saw what boxers that has, the beating and everything that.
Because even some of the best boxers make one mistake and it's curtains. So obviously you don't know all the intricacies of the box. You throw the punch, get your hands back up. A lot of people keep their hands down. Right.
Yeah. So that was the first thing. But I had confidence because I knew Chad had been training and stuff, but not to the point that he's really getting me back. So like I said, that was my first word. Things like respect the sport. But man, we did a tremendous job. We went 4 rounds, and we got grazed a little bit. We got right back there. But talking music, that was the hardest, the toughest 8 minutes of his life. Because you got to be in tip top.
Yeah. That people don't understand. Because when I first got out here, I did some boxing.
Same feet, under.
Just hit the lip, hit the bag.
Damn.
It's like a full body workout. It's like swimming on that.
And because the first thing when you get tired, you drop your
hand.
And guess what? All this is exposed.
All of this right here is exposed. And if you got somebody that's in shape, that condition, ooh boy, this is canvas. Canvas and making the pain picture.
You start breathing heavy, start breathing out your mouth, your mouth open, and then the jaws loose, and then boom, there you go face down. Right. Okay, I get Ochocinco, he did great. I'm talking about you. What you gonna do?
So I think maybe a week or so after that, I'm at home. I get a text. I'm in Florida about 11 o'clock at night. It's Brandon Marshall, the one that went to race me too. So he texts me out of the blue and he goes, yo dude, you want to fight me for $2 million? I'm thinking you're joking.
Right.
So my response is, because he already done backed out of 2 races.
Right.
And so I'm not really taking it serious
Right.
at this point. So my response to him saying, I said, I'll knock your ass out for an extra $2 million. Yeah, and I was that serious, based on the other stuff. So I'm like,
Right.
he done had me training the race
Right.
and all this other stuff, and I keep backing out.
Back it up.
Putting money up for this and that and the other. So that was my response, so I'll knock your ass out for an extra $2 million. He said, no, I'm serious. I'm talking with the CEO of Triller. And he was like, he said, you want to do it or not? I said, you know why not, man. If you serious, I said, just let me know. Yeah. So he said, we're thinking about doing it in November. So, long story short, I haven't heard from him since.
But you know, B Mars boxed for real though.
But I'm not going to just train. I've already been training and doing all this other stuff. And
But you got to go get a real boxing trainer.
No, the people that train Chad,
Right.
Because that's the first thing that people would ask. They was asking me when I was ringside. I had people asking, Tio, you next? And then I had one guy that was like, yo, this is gonna be fun. They was like, if you had to fight with who would you want to fight? I said Donovan McNabb.
Hold on, he coming back.
and I'm dead serious. I'll knock him out. Because there'd be so much, so much. No, I was going there. I know I'll be controlled. Right. It'll be controlled angle. I'll be like a Navy SEAL. I'll be a Navy SEAL because you know they cool under all conditions, but there will be a fire burning inside of me.
So you literally try to knock the man out.
Clean, I knocked chunky soup from me. From 2004. Trust me. All the heartache and all the stuff that I done went through. Being a nice, and me trying to be the nice guy. That's me being a nice guy.
I know you, and I know you dead ass serious.
Shannon, I promise you. And I know, like, going in there, you can't just go in there and just record the band.
No.
You gotta be strategic.
Yes,
You gotta
yes.
be strategic, everything.
Walking into something.
But trust me, believe me, that will be my intent.
Man, you take this seriously when you play football.
Absolutely. Because football really was a hobby.
Right.
Just think if I would have prioritized it. If I was like Jared,
Right.
growing up and wanting to play football. This, like, give me the proper training. Like, I talked to, his trainer. He's like, yo, if you really see it, just let me know. So, like I said, it has to come up. I'm not going to just do no unnecessary. But I may just start taking some lessons just to kind of familiarize myself. Because somebody like me, bro, I'll be like Roy Jones. I'll be an entertainer, but you got to be smart in that too at the same time. Trust me. But like I said, we haven't gotten there yet.
Somebody gonna actually go proposition you about fighting.
No. I mean, they have. It's a big Zach Judas, some other guy they gonna reach to my DM and doing some.
Hell no, that's real boxers.
I know, but like I said, it's been like celebrity stuff. You know what I mean? But I just haven't really, like I said, it wasn't really on my radar at that time. Like I said, it wasn't really about the money. Like I said, yeah, I'm like, oh yeah, but it's not really.
But you fight for $2 million.
Yeah, like first, yeah. So that was a number that.
Well, how much did it take you to fight down?
Can of potted meat and some crackers. And a bottle of 81. On the way out. And a bottle of 81 on the way out.
It started out so well in San Fran. And you were going to be the heir apparent. You were going to be
Well, I didn't know. I wasn't going to be the heir apparent. They were looking at J.J. Stokes.
Right. Oh, yeah. When they drafted him, number one overall, the first round draft pick.
Right.
But when you look at it, and you have Steve, you go to Jeff. Obviously, Jeff is not Steve Young. Steve is in the Hall of Fame, but Jeff was a very good quarterback. Jeff made several Pro Bowls. Mm-hmm. What happened in San Francisco? How did it go so bad so quickly? You supposed to spend 15 there.
I think the coaching staff there, when I say coaching staff, I'm talking mainly probably Coach Mariucci. They saw probably the fast involvement of my game.
Right.
I became a little bit more personality, charismatic. For the first few years, I was just learning the position. I was quiet.
Right.
You know what I mean? I was just trying to find my way.
Right.
And then, confidence is everything.
Damn, who?
So,
Oh, that's you in all blue?
I had this defense mechanism, a chip on my shoulder, in a sense, and then, things just started unfolding. I felt like I was being treated differently by Coach Mary.
Good defense.
That was some things that happened, during my time there. But I had to go and address it to a real loss because of I felt like I was being treated differently.
Got him.
And I think that's where things kind of just fell off.
Yeah, we just stay man
have
for
a
now.
personality.
Just switch it,
But
like
because Jerry's there,
switch if needed.
Steve's there, you're trying to find your
blue.
footing, trying to find your niche. Now all of a sudden, okay, I belong here.
Throw it
Not
back,
only do I
yeah.
belong here.
No, pause. Easy.
So
Oh,
now you have
good
the
laugh.
confidence. So now I can really show the real T.O. I don't have to be quiet. I don't have to be, aloof. I can let people see my real personality. Let everybody see who the real Harold Owens is.
Oh,
Because that was how people saw
oh, he
me.
can't finish that one. Good.
I was characterized, I was described, when the media talked to my teammates. A lot
Hit.
of them said I was quiet, I was aloof,
Right.
I was standoffish, and that was the farthest from the truth. That's how I grew up. In a household where I was raised by my grandmother, didn't really get to interact. So it's sort of like
Man, I should've-
awkward and a bit.
Right.
But if you ask my teammates, with every team, they would tell you, I'm enjoy to be around. I like to have fun.
What the T.O. in the locker room was different than the T.O. that the media got an opportunity.
Take what they gave,
Yeah,
bro.
absolutely. And I think, when the media came and they asked certain individuals, and maybe some people didn't like me.
Right.
And they gave them a different version of
No, stay
somebody
corner,
was.
stay corner.
They took that and they ran with it.
Yep.
Why didn't they ask? It's hard for me to believe that in the locker room were 53 guys.
Yeah,
Only the guys that ever got interviewed were the guys that didn't dislike.
yeah.
Like, why weren't some of the guys that like?
Oh!
Me to believe that.
Good defense,
In the
though.
locker room, this man went in.
You broke down at the end, but good deal.
Right, exactly.
Because all I hear about is the guys that did, he did this, he did that.
Well, I mean, I became sort of like a villain in a sense. It became a negative thing when it came to Terrell Owens.
Right.
And I think if you look at, also being inducted into the Hall of Fame, those were some of the things that they kept bringing up.
Right.
Was character issues. But I'm not a bad person.
But the character issue was never an issue before.
Exactly.
Do you realize how special you gotta be
Damn.
when people were willing to
I
change the
seen that.
bylaws? You realize they wrote new rules that what happened in the locker room, what happened in the meeting rooms, what happened on the sidelines could be used to judge a player.
Pollo Tropical is grilling up always fresh, marinated churrasco steak. Things are heating up at Pollo Tropical.
I heard that.
You did that? That's the T.O. rule?
Like I said, God put us all here for a reason. Even that situation, you think about the horse collar rule, I was part of that.
Yep.
You think about the touchdown celebration, I was part of that.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I can't put my finger or quote on why that is.
Right.
But those are the cards that I was dealt. And honestly, I felt unfairly treated. I felt unfairly criticized at times because of how certain media at certain people, and then they go on the air and every outlet picked it up, and then without even knowing me, they're just going by what everybody else is saying. And so they created this narrative, and again, Skip started it. I mean, it kind of just trickled down.
What happened with? It seemed like you said Coach Mary, you felt that he felt
Good D, boy.
But I think your position coach.
Come on. Damn.
He was Dawson OC in San Fran.
Yeah, I think it was a quarterback coach or something. Yeah. But he wasn't. George Stewart was my
George
position.
Stewart was the position coach.
Prior to that, it was Larry Kirk.
Okay.
So, like I said, that was things, man, that I witnessed. And like I said, when you talk about it now, it's going through a year of, systemic racism and things of that nature. you know, just as a country as a whole, we witness things, but I can definitely go back and say
come on.
what I experienced. Obviously, it was systemic racism, and I'm not afraid to say it. I'll say it to him, but I was treated, you know, definitely differently.
So move. They marry Yuki.
Absolutely.
So what about Greg now? Because they
Nah, don't hold. You stay.
Anybody, you know what I mean? Any coach, any player, there's gonna be arguments, there's gonna be disagreements.
Right.
But at the end of the day, Jerry cursed out worse than what I did. But like I said, when it came to me, because
They'll pick up the negative.
Oh no.
Did you try to sit down and talk to Moose? Did you say, Moose, this? That's what everybody calls it. Right. Moose. Steve, Moose, this is what I'm feeling. I'm feeling that I'm being singled out. I feel like if I do something, you mark on it, where someone else does something, you let it slide.
It was the things that I experienced were obvious to the point that I went to Bill Walsh.
So you went above Moose?
Right, because I didn't feel like I was going to do anywhere. You know, obviously there were fines and things of that nature. You have a fine coach. And like I said, even with those, I was treated different.
Yeah.
Somebody else would be given the benefit of buying the team lunch or taking the fine.
Right.
He didn't give me that option. Right. I just got the fine. And so there are things like even from the touchdown celebration we going to the Dallas Stars.
Right.
There was no rule against that. I did. Money
Good, that's
quarterback,
it.
that's all that was going on throughout the course.
Go, man.
They were talking about that. Right. The league didn't suspend him.
Whatever.
He was pressured by the media to suspend him.
Hold on. You got suspended for that?
Yes, sir.
Hey, hold
Yes,
on.
sir. Yes, sir.
So what did the union say? They can't. That wasn't no
Yeah,
rule.
yeah.
They can't just suspend.
Yes, sir.
So what they let me get? Conduct detrimental.
Bro, I have no idea. All I know is I got suspended.
Damn.
And then I found this out years later. I went to Atlanta.
Right.
And I don't do politics. He tried to play
let's
role. And so he reached out, he reached out to my coach, and I found this out years later. He wanted to try to make it look like he and I was on good terms with the media, that he wanted me to fly back from Atlanta and go to a San Jose Sharks game and be in the stands and have the media, paying
the camera like that we got.
Yeah, like we were cool. And my coach was like, I'm not calling him because I know T.O. is not going to, he's not going to go for this. And so these are little things like that, man, that didn't really set well with me. Just like I said, I went to
Damn, we let them back in the game for no reason.
When I discussed it with him, or when he gave his feedback on what happened, or his assessment of what happened, he said he didn't even see me. He has a bird's eye view, just like
Yeah, coach.
yeah, he said he didn't even see me go to the Shut up! So these are certain things, man, like I said, that I had to go through. And it is what it, even with my contract, I had been there longer than Jeff Garcia. No knock on him. I feel like I was the second coming of Jerry Rice. I was looked upon to.
No. I'm not trying to, bro. I'm just trying to get it back to you, bro.
Negotiations standing out the entire summer. Jeff Garcia played maybe I think 2 years backing up Steve Young. I did an interview, and you know, obviously I look back and obviously I should have, you know, chosen some other words, and you know, that kind of just, you know, I guess made things, I mean, kind of fractured it a bit. But I didn't. Like I said, when I did the interview, I didn't really think about them as a person, of what I was saying. But like I said, you know, with Jeff, like, we catered our offense around his strengths. Right. You know, he's a rollout type of guy. Right. He's a tough, gritty guy. He's not the, you know, typical drop back in the pocket passer. Doing, you know, he's not the Tom Brady, your Peyton Manning. He's not that type of guy. Right. But our offense was tailored around his abilities, and I adapted my game around what he had to do. Right. You know, you're familiar with the West Coast offense. We talk about the scramble drill. Yep. I knew every position, everybody. If you look at some of my highlights, of course, you script plays.
Oh, you greedy ass selfish bitch.
You gotta improvise.
You was ecstasy.
I was zebra.
Let me get that, bro. Oh, come here, little boy. That's my rebound.
More value because they started me at one position, but I learned that, and then kind of like, I don't know, a few weeks in the camp, you know, coach like, oh, you need to learn this. Dude, it made me nervous. But I'm just learning this position. And then he's like, yo, you need to learn this. But then, like I said, I'm a visual person. Right? Coach Stewart, he'll tell you, I'm crazy visual. So that's when I started learning how to really incorporate and knowing what to do with the play.
I'm the same way. Let me see somebody do it. And you explaining it to me, I need to see somebody.
Right.
I need to actually see somebody do it. Right. Okay, so that's what
Oh, I thought he didn't have more time, bro. I thought Claudio was. Yo, bro, that's too loud. Lower your mic, bro.
Move on. Contracts up. You're supposed to, your agent's supposed to file the paperwork to make you a free agent.
Man, I'm mad. I'm still mad.
Okay, your agent's supposed to file the paperwork so you become a free agent.
Yep.
He drops the ball.
Yep.
The Ravens says, okay, so whatever, I think the Ravens and San Francisco work out some kind of deal. Yep. But you don't want to go to Baltimore.
Right, and it had nothing to do with Baltimore except the team. I just felt like where I was in my career, the height of my career, I couldn't do what I was going to do, I should be doing with an inexperienced quarterback. Right. So you did not but anyway. But I mean, but that's how I am. You know, people would think that I'm
high as bitch, bro.
Okay.
I just look at it as
I'm just trying to chill, bro. You feel me? Come here, little boy. Oh shit. Let him in the paint. Let him in the paint. He's not gonna do nothing.
What happened? So how did your agent? How did he not go ahead and just file the paperwork at the beginning of the summer?
Exactly. And
why did he get to the last?
I have no, dude, trust me, I have no idea.
Who wants it? Who wants this ball? Oh, you wide open. Yup. I got it, little boy. Alright, hit me back up. Damn, bro.
Exactly where I was when I talked to him. I was off one of the exits in Atlanta in the parking lot where I get my hair cut. And I was on the phone with him and he broke it down as to how my agent messed it up, dropped it up. Yep. And then my agent.
Oh no, he didn't.
Made me think it was their fault.
Right.
And then, you know, that was when facts was, you know, there wasn't no DocuSign or anything like that.
Right.
That's when we had
email, everything was facts.
Right. So he tried to blame it on, you know,
Good
go through and all this and blah. But at the end of the day, like you said, I knew I wanted to become an unrestricted free agent, so I could test the market.
Correct.
He should have done that immediately next day after the season.
Right.
And so I was a young kid. I wasn't even really thinking like this. Right. And that's where again, we
Come on.
as athletes, we have people we hire.
Got him.
Right. We honestly we may not be aware of. Right.
I just don't man, bro.
Okay. Somehow you get that worked out.
Got his ass,
End up
bro.
with Philly, which seems like a perfect situation because they got a proven quarterback. Yep. They've been going to the NFC Championship game and they can't quite get over the hump. And at the time, I said, you know what? I believe this guy is the missing piece. I believe this is the guy that can finally get them over the hump.
Well, I made the Pro Bowl. You know, if you don't, when you get to the NFC Championship,
Blew it. He blew it. Oh, he hit.
Right. So I made the Pro Bowl for years, so that's how I got to play. And meet some of the staff of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Andy and
All right, him. Damn.
Yep. So that's
Good take, man.
Again, the idea of me possibly playing for that team.
And plus, they had the West Coast offense, considering you had.
Damn, bro, my bad. We can finally
So
hit
this
that.
was a match made. This was perfect.
It was from day one, from the first preseason game. We played the Ravens. Guess how many yards my took?
Oh shit. You got double block, man. Oh, bad. Wrong person. Yeah, him.
This is a
My bad, man.
Ain't no way this supposed to happen
I
like
had
that.
no idea till years later, and I'm listening, I'm watching the highlights, and the announcer is like, man, you know, he calls it, you know, color commentator, he's breaking it down. I go out wide, thinking like cover to it, trying to disguise it. Man, I release inside, get back outside. They wasn't even supposed to let me do that.
Right. No.
Right.
Once you go inside, they gotta ride you down.
But because of the dynamic talent that I am, you know, I somehow I made it work. And I'm listening to the announcer, and he's like, man, this is a touchdown. And he goes right down to the jersey number, and it was like 81. I'm like, man, that's crazy.
Because you had 3 touchdowns. That was the first game.
Well, that was a preseason
game.
Yeah, the first regular season game against the Giants, I had 3 touchdowns.
So everything, you're like, ooh, man, this thing going well. And then what happened?
There was one game. I can't remember who we were playing, the Giants or it may have been the Browns. But we had one particular play. You know, your game plan is scripted throughout the course of the week. I ran some route, like a bench route, go in, get the safety to bite or the corner bite, and I'm dude, it's wide open every day in practice. I mean, even when we didn't have to script it right, it was wide open. So we get in the game. It's my play. I run the route 2 or 2, just like we've been running all week in practice, scripted,
DB bite. Like this much.
Shannon. Left and I'm wide open. I'm looking better. I'm looking for the ball. I'm like, I know this is a touchdown. He goes elsewhere with the football. So I get back in the huddle. Go back to the huddle. And I said, yo, I was open. I said, what happened? He told me to what's up?
Oh,
bro, on my
you practice this play all week.
Yes, sir.
There's nothing like you practice a play and it happens just like you drew it up.
Mm-hmm.
And you think like, oh, I'm about to get this one. And all you did,
Well, I was open. I said, what happened? He told me to what's up? Seriously. And so I didn't say anything because coming from San Francisco, I didn't want to make no.
Yeah.
I already know what time it was, so I didn't want to create no animosity, no tension right there on the field. So we came off that series, I went straight to my coach, and I'm like, yo, I said, because I didn't want to blame anybody. Right. I wanted to see what happened. Right. Let me see what happened. Right. So I make things right. So I asked Cole, I said, what happened? I'm thinking that's why I knew. Okay. He looked at me and goes, I don't know if he was there. I don't know why he was there. He just didn't play it. So I left it at that.
Did you go to him like, C-Man?
I waited till after the game.
Okay.
Oh.
Me knowing everything that had transpired, I'm going to be looked at as villain. I'm like, this team, I wasn't trying to get each I'm trying to be the consummate teammate. So I let everybody kind of just filter out of the locker room. There was like a few guys left, whatever. And I just went to him and I just said, look, bro. I said, I don't appreciate you, cussing at me. I said, bro, I'm a grown man. Right. And I said, from here on, man, don't talk to me that way. It's gonna be a problem. And so I felt like me addressing that in that way was a mature kid. Yeah. Because I could have went off on the football out there in the middle of the field and we got to the sideline, but I wasn't trying to do that.
Trying to do his best behavior.
And I'm trying to turn over new leaf.
Okay.
So when we did, I just told him, look, bro, don't address me that way. Right. I said, we're grown men. I got kids. Like, that's not gonna happen. And so from there, I think that's where the real.
So when you said that, bro, don't address me like that. Hey,
I don't know. I honestly, I was so mad. I don't know what he said or if he said anything that really could have made a difference at that point. I just didn't like the tone, number one, and the way he came to me. My team, they was in the huddle. it was foul. Right. It was foul. And so things kind of just fell off the track, from that point on.
After I'm sitting here listening to you talk, that was the one thing that I had. I don't mind being coached. Can't coach me. See, I wouldn't let you say anything to me that my grandmother couldn't say, and she gave me everything in life. She raised me. So if she wouldn't say that to me,
I'm not
you
gonna
get coaching me hard. Say, son, what do you see? What do you see? We want respect that play. If I make a mistake, John, hey, please, I need you to do better. But don't curse me.
No, it wasn't just no curse, though. It was demonstrative.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was just, it struck me. It struck a chord with me. And I said, I'll never forget it. So like I said, I just felt like I needed to do that. So if I just let that slide, I just felt like he was going to just continue to think that it was okay. Right. And so my grandmother always said, don't never let nobody run over you. No. You know what I mean? That's how they say it. Don't let nobody run over you. Right. So if you do that, it will continue. And so for me, I just addressed it and left it at that. And so maybe he didn't like what I had to say. But like I said, I didn't allow that to really deter anything that we did on the football field. When we went out on the football field, I just played, and sometimes, like I said, I was pissed, but I just did what I was supposed to do.
So that game, that was early in the season. Do you believe that was the beginning of the end of your relationship? What do you think?
Probably because as I still started, I was
balling.
I look back, people tell me now I played in 21 games until
Yeah.
21 touchdowns. 20 touchdowns.
In 21 games, yeah.
Yeah, and so I look back on it and the way that I was balling and the way the city embraced me. And you remember, like, when he got drafted, it was either him or Ricky Williams. Right. They booed me, you know what I mean? So I think he had some resentment because when I started balling, in week 1, I scored 3 touchdowns against.
They were going crazy. When they found out that they had the Eagles that signed you, the fans were going crazy.
They got the entire stadium. It was like something I had never experienced.
Right.
Everything probably that I wish I could have done in high school or college, I was experiencing as a pro. Right. I was a star. I witnessed that on the sidelines in high school with other guys. Right. They were the stars of the school, star of the team. In college, it was the same way. I worked my butt off, Shannon, to become T.O.
Right.
And so, I can't imagine what he felt, or I guess maybe he had something against the city, but to have 70,000+, 60,000, 70,000 chanting, when you do something big, have a big play, and I guess he didn't feel like he was, being recognized as such. And me coming there my first year and really making a difference. And then we get, okay, I got hurt late in the season, December. And then the thing was with the media was I going to be ready to play in the Super Bowl? Right. Him being the quarterback, and now he's the leader, the captain of the team. He had to face those questions. The rest pretty much leading into the playoffs, or what have you, and he basically said, we don't need T.O. anymore. We've won games without him. And so I didn't really take any slight to it, but I heard it.
Right.
And so I guess he
got it was an unnecessary slight. He could have said, look, we want T.O. to get back as soon as we possibly can.
As a quarterback of the leader team.
Right, you say the right thing. You be politically correct. Right. Regardless of how you feel, you be PC in that moment.
Right, you can address it. You know how to address it. And so again, that was something that kind of loomed, and then there was the contract situation after that. He spoke highly of Brian Westbrook's contract, basically endorsing that the team should sign to an extension, but when it came to me, nothing.
Radio side.
Nothing. So that's when I knew that it was something personal. It wasn't anything personal with me against him, because I'm not that person. I've never been that person.
But you are the type of person, if somebody crosses you, you're done.
Oh yeah. For sure, yeah. But I'm not the type. I'm not no jealous type of person. Right. I'm not a hater. I'm not no gossiper. I'm not gonna talk bad about another person because I may think he's better than me or whatever. I've never been that type of person. I've been my own person because I knew my path and my journey to be who I became.
Well, then what happened with the fight situation in Philly?
With Hugh Douglas, they brought him on as like I guess a team ambassador or something like that. I was rehabbing an injury or what have you. So him and Donovan was buddy.
Right.
They were good friends. So I guess obviously when you boys,
Because he came, did he have come back from Texas?
yeah.
So they brought him back.
Yeah, so he was still like the team, I guess, from basketball, what have you. And so obviously, I'm like a black sheep, you know what I mean? I'm like a black sheep. So, you know, him and Donovan, they're friends, and he and I, we talked, you know, discussed it or what have you. And again, I'm pretty sure he wish he could have done some things differently and thought things through, or maybe even talked to me.
Right.
But obviously, like I said, you know, him and Donovan being friends, and obviously, like I said, Donovan really didn't like me, you know, at one point, then it all became personal. And it's trying to do things to antagonize me, this and that and the other. And I remember I was doing some treatment, I was doing hydro work food, what have you. And man, I'm not no punk, bro. I'm not no punk. And so he came in, he said something, and the door was cracked, and I didn't like it. And I asked him to raise me up out of the hydro work food. I went
Go ahead, baby. Good
Good
comeback.
When he got some stuff, and so we kind of got to tussling a little bit, and Jeremiah Trotter kind of got in between us and tried to separate us. And I went through Trotter to get it.
That's it, bro.
I was told, they said, you almost said
I don't know how we came back, bro.
I
don't know how the fuck we came back, bro.
I had low self-esteem issues when I was younger. I got bullied. We didn't call it bullied. We got picked on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Before I knew what that was. And so, man, you know, when I was in high school, we ran track and things like that. I had a guy that spit in my mouth while I was sleeping. I got picked on. So when I got older, man, I got to the point where I was always, you know, hear my grandma go, don't never let anybody, you know, do you wrong, or if they bigger than you, she like pick something up, hit them on the run. Bro, trust me, you know what it's like. So I always remember that, but man, I had got to the point where I was upside in the grown room, and I just wasn't gonna allow.
you will take your kids off anybody else.
Bro, I didn't care who it was and how big you were. But yeah, it was like I said, I don't know what would have happened, but Prada ended up, you know, kind of separating. He'll tell you that I went through Prada. I went through Prada to try to get it through.
Come back the second year, you play, you still balling, and it's like, go home. What led to Andy sending you home?
I did an interview with a guy by the name of Brandon Singer, and I met him in high school. He was aspiring journalist or whatever in high school when I was in San Fran.
Right.
And so now I think he's in college or whatever, but I told him, he had asked me, what was coming from at the end of the game.
Right.
He goes, yo, I'm going to be a journalist one day, blah, blah, blah. I had no idea, like years later,
Right.
this guy would be interviewing me. And so I did the piece or what have you, and he brought up a statement or something that Michael said. He was like, because at that time we were 4-3.
Right.
So actually we were 4-3. Still talented, still had a chance to make the playoffs. We lost some games, close games, and the only game that we got our butts kicked was the Pittsburgh game. So we easily could have been 6-1. And so he was like, he asked a crazy question that, you know, I talked to Michael earlier, and I guess Michael was doing TV or something like that. And he was like, Michael said, you know, if Brett Favre, you guys are quarterback, you guys would be a better team or something along those lines. I just said, okay, I agree with that assessment. Just get, and it wasn't any slight for it done. Right. I was thinking that what Brett Favre had accomplished and who he was at that time. So it was like, he's a Hall of Fame quarterback. So I'm like, okay, you switching, you putting that, but I didn't. But actually, that's no. I didn't say anything. I wasn't thinking at that time. I hadn't matured enough to understand the question.
Sometimes they just ask you, got you.
Well, he got me, and he got me up out of there. He did. He got me up out of there. So the next day, the headline was, Carol says that, you know,
Even when you better with Brett Favre.
I'm like, what? I didn't say that. I'm like, what do you? You know how ESPN, this look, the look, like,
Yep.
it was all over.
Right.
So I go in the next morning, that's all that was on the TV.
You cut the TVs off?
No, this is in the lunch, in our
You
cafeteria.
the ball.
Man, let me tell you.
They got the bug in the field of the
Man, so this became a firestorm, bro. It just kind of it was like things kind of went haywire, and so I tried to address him like, yo, that's not what I said. Now basically, this is because I said.
Yeah, I held it a little long. My bad. Come on.
But I said also, Donovan had been hurt, and I said if Donovan was hurt, I said we could easily be 6-1 right now. But that's not what they did. So the team captain, Ryan Dawkins, Trotter, they basically cornered me in the training room. What are you doing when you block? I said, bro, that's not what I said. Right. So I asked him, I said, look at the transcript. I said, get the transcript. Somebody really got the transcript. I said, read it in entirety, and you will see exactly what I said. They understood. I'm sitting in our trainer's office with Ryan. They saw that. Right. But that's not how the media speaks.
It was too late then.
Right.
The transcript didn't matter because it was already out.
Right. The damage was already done. So I go to Andy Reid. I'm talking to Jeffrey Lewis and all those guys, and so at this point they don't know what needs to happen. So I have a publicist, and we're trying to figure out what's going to happen. And so she basically wrote something down for me to go before the meeting, a press conference or what have you. And so she had faxed it in to the equipment room, to that number, to the equipment room. So that whoever got it from the equipment, they read it. So before I went out to my press conference, to the captains, I was going and thinking I could Trotter. I started Trotter. What I had to read. Like I was apologizing to the organization, this and the other. And there was a section on it like, I want to apologize and down and blah, blah. Trotter suggested I take that out. Because it was addressing, because I was addressing him with the team. He didn't feel like that I needed to address him.
No, you should have.
That's what happened. So I didn't end up saying that part. I just said I apologize to the team, my teammates, and anybody that it offended. Yeah, I offended whatever by saying that. So whomever got it from the fact machine, they saw that I didn't read that.
Oh, they saw that you didn't read verbatim with what the statement, the original statement.
Bingo. Got back to the coach. Then they must have told Donovan or what have you. And then he was ticked off because I didn't personally address or specifically address him. So Andy Reid wanted me to go out there in front of everybody and do it in front of everybody. And I told him, no, I'm not doing that. That's not happening.
You're not doing what?
I'm not going out there and
He wanted you to do it again.
apologize to Donovan personally. And I'm not doing that. No, so I wasn't doing that. Because number one, I knew in my heart that I didn't mean for the way that it sounded, nor how the media spun it, or spun it, to make it seem like I didn't.
Chill, you do understand how intent works. Intent only matters to you. The person that was offended is equally as offended, whether you meant it or not.
Right, but we never even got to a point of even discussing it. You know what I mean? So I was like, no, I'm not doing it.
Chill, why not just apologize?
Because I felt like I did it within the scope of what I addressed. So when I apologize to my teammates and anybody that was offended, then that's basically me addressing it.
You can't do that because here's the thing: you didn't say. That's not just anybody. That's the quarterback. And you said a quarterback from another team you guys would be better. Now, that's not how you meant it, but that's how it came across once the headline. Because how do I get you to read the paper? I got to get headlines. So I got to put something in bold captions to capture your attention so you will actually read it. So now
but at the end of the day, when I've always said, you've heard me say this statement, if I could go back, there are some things I would do different.
Okay.
This is probably one of those things. But at that time, that's not what my mindset was. because I knew that that's not what I meant. You know what I mean? I wouldn't intentionally throw my quarterback on the bus. I was just answering that question based on what he asked me. But then at the same time, the media did me a disservice because they didn't, like I said, they didn't include the second part of it. They're like, yo, Donovan had been injured that year. I said, we could have easily been 6-1 instead of sitting here 4-3. So, but the thing is, yeah, I just said, okay, I was giving not more respect, but I was giving kudos and respect to who Brett Favre was and the caliber of quarterback he was at that time.
Right.
It wasn't any slight.
No,
it wasn't a slight. If you listen to how he phrased it, then you can see where I was coming from with my answer.
What happened with you and Brad Jordan? Because you guys had wasn't Brad, he was offensive coordinator, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You and him had a contentious relationship.
Yeah, so once I think something happened, I got back. And at this point in time,
because you didn't get suspended for the Donovan thing, you got suspended with butting heads with Brad, right?
No, it was
a combination.
You would think it might have been a combination thing because they were going to play Washington that week.
Right.
And so Andy Reid basically said, you know, we're gonna go play Washington. We're gonna sit this one out. And then he said, over the weekend, we're gonna talk to the owner and obviously the other players or whatever, and we'll see. We'll assess everything and then go from there.
Right.
And so little did I know that was the last game that in practice that I played.
Okay, they suspend you. It was only supposed to be for 4 games, right? No,
yeah, but
they changed the rule because they suspended you indefinitely. Now they can only suspend you for 4 games.
Right, yeah. But Donovan had a hand in, like I said, if he...
How do you know that, T.O.?
Come on, bro. Trust me. So that was bad enough for me to be suspended for the whole year? That situation?
Okay, what happened? So what happened with the sit-ups in the driveway?
What about it?
T.O.
I went to training camp. That was me and Andy Reid. We butted heads.
Right.
I had, they have like positions after certain practice they go sign autographs.
Right. But
I was injured. I had a nursing groin injury.
Right.
So that was my priority. I wanted to prioritize my right. Mm-hmm. So when I came there, do your research. When I got to the Philadelphia Eagles, we went to Lehigh Stadium. It was tens of thousands there every day. Mm-hmm. Shannon. I signed autographs, I took pictures, everything. So I didn't feel like I needed to take away from my treatment of me getting better and being on the football field.
But that's a given. In the West Coast, that's a West Coast thing. What we do, they have to have certain groups. Like one day it might be receivers and DB. You go and you sign autographs for 10, 15 minutes. The next day it might be someone else. And you might do that twice while you're in training camp.
I was doing it daily.
Right.
Because of just, I knew that was part
of it.
But
if you're injured, you're exempt from that. You go get treatment. That's how it was in Denver.
So that's how I saw it. So I wanted to prioritize my health too. He was running me in the ground, dude. Like I ran every route. Every time Donovan was that quarterback, I had to run a route.
Right, yeah. That's how it normally is. There's a starter, then you go.
So even the head trainer had to tell him, like, look, he's nursing a groin injury. You can't just run. No, I practice hard.
Right. Oh, I know.
And so it was getting to me. So I got to the point where I needed to get back on the field. That's how I was going to be productive.
Right.
That's what people pay their money to come to see. They come to see a show.
Right.
So I wanted to prioritize that, and we butted heads, and he didn't like what I had to say. And I said, look, my health is more important than going to sign some autographs. Like I signed just one day.
Right.
So he didn't like what I had to say. He told me to go home. He was like,
how did you say it? Did you say, Andy, look, I'm nursing a groin injury. Now I've signed my fair share of autographs, but you should understand that
we were in a setting, we were like in a hallway or whatever. So we were just kind of going back. The banter, obviously started calm, and then I didn't like what he had to say. He didn't like what I had to say, and then he was like, so. Again, I'm not going to be disrespectful.
Right.
But I was like that. Our voices may have raised a bit, but he was like, you know what?
Hey, guys.
And just what do you think you're doing here?
thought you invited me.
Oh, not you, Bruce. You're fine. I'm talking about your little +1.
I thought you liked margaritas.
Not when they're made margarong, Bruce. A margarita is Cointreau, tequila, and fresh lime juice, which means your little friend is not invited. Now, would you? Little kiss goodbye. And now, who wants a margarita?
You know what?
I'm not gonna be disrespectful, but I'm not gonna let you be disrespectful to me either.
Right.
Just because you coach now, you don't think
At
you
this
talk
point,
to
I'm a
any guy.
grown. At this point, I'm a grown.
Yeah,
man.
absolutely.
So he basically told me like, you know what? Go home. He said we'll get back to you. So I went back to the dorm, got my stuff, drove back to Morristown, and little did I know, I get home. At this point, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm talking. You know, I talked to. I'm a publicist at the time. I'm trying to you're trying to figure. I'm like, what do I do in the interim? And so I had no idea that the time that I'm in I got in the place in my house. I'm just walking around, and then I heard some helicopters, but I didn't really think too much of it. So then I hear a knock at the door, and I got the blind, the little shutter blind.
Right.
I looked through there, Shannon. They were camped. They had been set up shop.
Who told them though?
But I mean, it was an hour and a half to get from Lehigh back to Morristown.
Right.
So you can only imagine, you know, who had contacted.
The team probably had.
By that time, and then like I said, you know, the local media or whatever.
Right.
So dude, they had the news truck, everybody. I looked outside the tripod. I was like, yo, this is crazy. Shannon, that was honestly, I knew I was a star then. Shannon, I ain't gonna tell a lie. I was like, I'm a star. And so I just tried to make light of a situation, bring some levity to it.
Okay.
So before I left Lehigh, Coach Reed basically said, he said, look, go home, we'll get, you know.
We'll get back there. Don't call us, we'll call you.
Yeah, he said, just keep yourself in shape.
Okay. Cause that ain't really a good dude to you.
No, he is. No.
Red is a good dude. Everybody, we call him Red.
I talked to him now. Man, and so I get to the house, and like I said, things happen, and I just remember, you know, he was like, just make sure you're in shape.
Right.
So, you know, at my house, I had an ab bench, you know, laying around the house, this and that and the other. So they kept knocking at my door. So I'm like, man. So I called my publicist, and she goes, you know, I said, what should I do? Blah, blah, blah. So I said, I went outside at one point in time. I had a basketball goal. Went out some flip flops. I'm just shooting basketball. You know, I remember that the aerial shots they showed me back. So I went back in the house, and then so when I went back out,
you should have been like Charlie Field. Once you go back in the house, stay in the house. Like Groundhog Day, you stay in your butt in the house, Chill.
So, but they was gonna camp out there all day. I had to go eat.
Call the police on.
So this is what I said. Let me just have fun with it. And I just, like I said, in the back of my mind, I'm just hearing Andy Reid, keep yourself in shape.
Right.
So I'm looking around, so I see my ab bench. And so I was talking to my publicist and so that was the time when you had the little earpiece.
Yeah.
And to this day, until nobody knew that she was on my earpiece. She was on live when I went out there.
Right.
So when I took my ab bench out there, I was answering the questions. She heard what they were saying, and so she was telling me what to say or whatever. And if it was something I didn't want to answer, I just said no comment.
Right.
So that was the reason behind me bringing number one the ab bench out there, because I'm like, hey, he told me to come home, you know, come back here and stay in shape. So that's what I was doing.
Okay. So you leave Philly, it didn't work. I mean, you had a great, like you said, in 21 games, you had 20 touchdowns, you did go to the Super Bowl. Let's talk about that Super Bowl. Normally, if somebody plays injured or plays hurt, it's like, you know what? Man, he did a good thing. Now he should be commended. Why do you get so much criticism? You're the only guy that's ever played in a game when you're not hurt, you're injured because you're 7 weeks removed from a broken ankle and a torn ligament in your ankle. Why did you get so much criticism for trying to help your team win? Had there been anybody else that would build a statue of?
Like I said, I'm black. You know, I'm outspoken. They looked at it as me a brash, selfish, arrogant type of player. So anything negative I felt like that they could throw towards me, that's what they did. And so again, at the end of the day, I said it in the press conference too. I'm like, yo, if this would have been Brett Favre, you guys would be praising him. You know what I mean? I looked at some of the games that he's played where he was sick or dealing with, you know, family issues. And the way he played, I mean, he was lauded for that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just recently, Tom Brady played with 13 stitches in the hand. They was like, that's like he did something miraculous.
Right.
but I played with the extent of the injury that I played
Yeah.
with should have been